Recording is in progress. Welcome to our class today, Wednesday, June 8, 2022. Today we will discuss the loops and files in Java. For those who keep to be absent, if they are watching this recording, this is the last warning. After this class, I'll start deducting immediately. The quizzes, I'll see how the midterm will go and next week a class. Then we'll decide to keep quizzes on Monday at the beginning of the class, or I can make it pop-up quiz, either Monday or Wednesday, anytime during the class. Sorry to do that, but I have to do something to keep students attending the class. I hope you understand me, guys. Don't be mad, but really this is for their benefit. I know all of you that attending here, you are responsive, you are taking the course serious, but for those we have to do something to help them to back to the right track. Okay, so let me share my screen. Any questions before we start the material in the previous material in Lab 3? If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask. Shall we start? Yeah,
I have a question. Just for are you going to explain the thing you were going to talk about on Monday, the switch case?
What do you mean the switch case for the pop-up quiz?
Is it going to be on the quiz, or you were talking? I don't remember well, but you were talking something about like converting the cases or something, switch cases to if cases or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, this is the bonus question.
Oh, okay, and
this
it's
is
on
the bonus
quiz?
question. I just sorry. Also, I thank Munib. He just remind me. Okay. I add a component in OWL, so you can submit your answer here. You have till the end of today, till 11:55 p.m. to submit your answer today.
Okay, thank you.
There was two questions. One to convert if to switch case, and the other question is theoretical question. Can we have like switch case mark greater than 95, do this greater than 90? Can we put the condition inside the cases? Yes or no? And what should be there? This is a theoretical question, and the programming question to convert the if in the last slide of unit 5 to switch case.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And guys, you have till the end of today, till 11:55 p.m. today. This will, you know, the bonus questions things will add up to 5% of your course mark as bonus. So it can recover missing mark in the quiz, in assignment, in midterm, in final. So you will receive your mark. Don't worry. And normally by the end of the term, I inform my student where the exact mark, for example, 2 marks toward like assignment 1 mark towards the quiz 1, and 2 marks toward midterm or final, whatever. So you will know where your 2 marks or 5 marks goes if you like answer all the question to get the 5 mark bonus. I hope all of you will. So this would help you to improve your mark in the course. Any other question before we start? Okay. So last class on Monday we talk about loop if statement and the switch case. Today we'll talk about loops and files. The increment and decrement operator, we will start the looping statement, running total and centennial values, and the break and continue statement, deciding which loop to use, introduction to file, input and output. So sometimes we need to increase like a counter or any field or any variable in a type of integer, float, whatever it is, that we need to add it by 1, by -1. How to do that? So Java provides shortened ways to increment and decrement variables value. At the beginning, we learn like number plus equal 1, which means number equal number plus 1. This is, and there is another short form to increase or decrease by writing a plus before or after the variable, like number plus or plus number, number minus or minus number. What is the difference between plus and minus? We will see. Using the plus or minus, we call them unary operators. And this task could be completed quickly and written on this way. When an increment or decrement are only operation statement, there is no difference between a prefix and postfix. If I write it in a single statement, I plus or plus I, there is no difference. When we use them in an expression, a prefix notation that the variable will be incremented or decremented prior to the rest of the equation being evaluated. What do you mean? If I have like number equal plus number minus 2, that means if it's in an equation or in an expression, we will add the value plus, that means plus 1, minus means minus 1. So we'll add a 1 to the number, then we'll deduct a 2. But if we write it number equal number plus minus 2, then it will minus 2 from the number, then we will add a 1. So postfix and the prefix. So we'll see the example next slide. So here, let's make it bigger. You see now the black screen, right? Okay, let me share the other screen. Okay, so you see the big screen now, you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this one a prefix. Public static void main string args, integer number equal 4. Display the value in number. System.output print line the number is plus the number. System output I will increment number plus number. We see here what, since it's a single statement or a single line of code, whether I put it before or after doesn't matter, same result. So display the number, then minus number. System.output my number is number. So this one we call it a prefix. So it's either in alone or in a statement or equation. We'll do the increment or decrement, then we'll continue the expression. So if it's single or in an expression, okay, in an expression, if it is prefix, the increment or decrement will be applied before the others. So it doesn't matter. The issue with the postfix. So in postfix, also if it's alone, doesn't matter. But if it's in a part of if statement in for or something like that, or an equation, we will take the original value of the number, which is 4. We'll do the increment. This is what does they mean in the slides, the author of the book. Okay, so we'll take the loop statements. The first one will take the while loop. How whiles work? We should have a condition to be true, then we'll do the block of statements. And we'll keep doing till this condition becomes false. So while the condition is true, the statement will execute repeatedly. The while loop is pretest loop, which means that it will test the value of the condition prior executing the loop. So every time we'll check the condition. Is it still true? We'll go. True, we'll go. True, we'll go. False, we'll stop. and go to the first statement after the while loop statement. Care must be taken to set the condition to false somewhere in the loop, so the loop will end. So we have to have a statement somewhere in the loop that will lead the loop at certain point to be false, the condition to be false, so that in that case the loop will end. Loops that do not end are called infinite loops. So the program will go in an infinite loop and never stop. A while loop executes 0 or more time if the condition is false. The loop will not execute. From the first occurrence, if the loop is false, the loop will not be executed. So let's see. While loop, class while loop, public static void main, integer number equal 1, while number less than 3, less or equal to 3, system.output print line hello, number plus plus. So we are adding number. So in this way, it will print hello. Okay. Then we'll add the number, it's become 2. Is 2 less or equal to 3? Yes. Then it will print hello again. Number plus plus, it's equal to 3. Is it less or equal to 3? It's equal to 3. Then we'll print it for the third time. Plus plus, it become 4. Then we will stop the loop. So then we'll print the, here the loop is done. Then this is a single statement. Then it will print that's all. Is that clear, guys? So how many hello will be printed? Who can answer? Ryan, 3. Amazing. Thank you, Ryan. Yes, 3 times. 1 plus plus become 2. Yes, it's still true. We'll print second time plus plus, it will become 3. Then 3, it's still true. We'll print hello, then a plus plus 4 is 4 less or equal to 3. No, it's false. Then we'll go to the first statement after the loop. Questions about while statement? So this is the flow chart, Boolean expression. If it's a true statements and we'll back, false, we'll go to the first statement after the loop. Infinite loop. In order for a while loop to end, the condition must become false. The following loop will not end. Integer x equal 20, while x greater than 0, 20 is greater than 0, system x is greater than 0. But we don't add any statement to reduce x here to become 0 or below 0. Once it becomes 0, it will stop. But here it will never stop. The variable x never gets decremented, so it will always be greater than 0. Adding the x minus minus above, so we should add here x minus minus, so the loop will run 20 times. But now it will run infinitely. Clear? Questions? So here how we will solve it. X minus minus, here we will print x greater than 0 for 20 times, then it will stop once it's reached to 0. Questions? 2019. Curly braces are required to enclose block statement while loops, like block if statement. So an if statement, we can have it without curly braces, but with while we need them. Because at least we need to do something and to do increment or decrement to make the condition false. So we need at least 2 statements. That's why we need the curly braces always. Clear, guys? Questions?
Just a quick question. So you don't need a break if you use a while loop, right?
No, we don't need the break. No.
So it'll just automatically go to the statement after
Yeah, if like once we reach to that, for example, to that
the condition.
like 13, between 20 and 0, if it's 13, do something, we can use a break.
Okay.
If certain thing happen.
Okay.
Yeah, we can use it, break, yeah. but break will stop the loop at not fully rounds required. Not all the round required. For example, from 20 to 0, we need 20 round. But at certain point, I need to stop the loop. If we reach to that point, yes, we can stop the loop there by break. System here, the loop for input validation. System.out print enter the number in the range of 1 through 100. Number keyboard.next integer. So we should use a scanner here. While number less than 1 or number greater than 100, the number is invalid. Enter number in the range of 1 to 100. Number dot keyboard get next integer. So here to validate the input, so the loop will continue. The loop will continue if we enter a number between 1, less than 1, or greater than 100. If we enter a number between 1 and 100, the loop will continue. Okay? Sorry. If we enter a number between 1 and 100 from the keyboard, then the while loop will stop. If we enter invalid number, the loop will continue to give you permission to enter a valid input. Clear? This program calculates the number of soccer teams that a youth league may create from the number of available players. Input validation is demonstrated with while loops. So soccer team, public static void main string, final integer main players 9, maximum number of players is 15. So the minimum number of players are 9 and the maximum is 15. Player, team size, teams left over. So scanner, get a new scanner, then system.out, enter the number of players per team, get the number from the keyboard. While we get the number of player in the team size less than minimum player or team size greater than maximum player, you should have at least 9 players, but not more than 15 players per team. System.out, enter a number of players per team again to get a valid number of player between 9 and 15. Enter available number of player. So after this, we'll have the player. Then while player less than 0, please do not enter a negative number. Enter available number of players. Then again, teams equal a player divided by team size. Calculate the number of teams. Leftover players modulus team size. Then we will have like 15 teams with 5 players left over, for example. Is the example clear? Questions? Questions still here, guys? The do while loop. So we talk about the while. The do while is same as while, but it will be executed at least one time because the condition will be checked at the end of the loop, not at the beginning of the loop, same as do while. So the do while is a post-test loop, which means it will execute the loop prior to the testing of condition. The do while loop, sometimes called a do loop, takes form do statements, then the curly brackets while condition. So if the condition is false from the beginning, the do while will be executed at least once. So for example, here program demonstrate a user controlled loop. String input, score 1, score 2, score 3, double average, then repeat. The hold keyboard input, 3 test scores, average test score, holiday, holds yes or no. Then in new scanner, this program calculates the average of 3 test score. Do. So enter score 1, score 2, and score 3. average equals score 1, score 2, score 3 divided by 3. System, the average is average. Would you like to average another set of test scores? So here they assume that you have at least 3 test scores or more. So that's why they use a do while, because at least you have 3 test scores and you need to know the average of your 3 test scores. But if you have more, then you will enter Y for yes or and for no. We will get the input Y repeat equal Y or repeat equal Y, either capital or small. If you put no, that means I have, this is my last 3 test score. If you said Y, then you have more to enter. Questions about do while? Questions, guys? This is the flow chart. You see here the statement, it's coming in the sequence. Then we will ask. If it's true, we will repeat the statement. If it's false, we will continue. The for loop. Question, guys, about while and do while before we start with for. No questions. Okay. Just give me a second. You see the TA, she's sending me something. Oh, sorry, you cannot hear? Okay, okay, okay. Since what, here or before? Shall I repeat from here, guys, or?
Yeah, could you repeat from there?
Since the start of the for loop. Okay, so guys, next time don't wait like for me to look in the chat, just unmute your mic and speak. Okay, sorry, I didn't notice that I mute my mic. So next time just unmute your mic and tell me, don't wait like till I notice there is something in the chat. Okay, right, thank you, but thank you for letting me, Alex and Ryan and everybody, but next time just unmute your mic and just notify me. Sorry for this happening. Okay, the for loop. Guys, the for loop is a pre-test loop, same as while. That we test the condition. If it's true, then we'll go inside the loop. The for loop allow programmer to initialize and control variable and at the same time testing a condition and update the condition at the same time, all at one line of code. So we have initialization, test, and update at the same time than the statement. For example, this demonstrates the square number between 1 and 10. So for number equal 1, number less or equal 10, number plus plus. This statement will be executed last. What do we mean? Number is my number between 1 and less or equal 10? Yes, we'll go inside the loop. We'll print the number times the number and its square. Once I reach, which is the end of the loop, then I will apply the update. Either increment or decrement. You will ask me, it's only increment or decrement by 1? No, you can make number equal or number plus equal 5. It is a 5 step. Each time the number is updated by 5. So the first time it's 1, the second time it's 6, the third time it is 11, which is outside the loop. But since I'm adding it one by one, which means from 1 to 10. Here is the flow chart. Like I got through the Boolean. If it's true, I'll do the statement. After I do the statement, I will update, which means plus plus minus minus, whatever. Then back. If it's false, I'll go to the first statement after the for loop. So the initialization will allow the loop to initialize its own control variable. That is section for the statement acts at the same manner and for while. The update section will be executed as told you last at the end of each loop. This example also a user controlled for loop. It will do the square number, but here I enter the stop value. In our previous example, it was from 1 to 10. Here I can do from 1 to 50, 1 to 20, depending on my input. It's the same, but depending on my input. The initialization section for loop is optional. However, it's usually provided. Go ahead.
Can you go to the previous slide, sir, again?
Yes.
So in your for loop, you have a number of pluses, right? So it starts at 1 and then it increments at the end of the curly bracket. But if I had like, let's say plus plus number, then it would start at 2 and then add at the end of the bracket?
No, because we told you the update will be executed after we reach the curly brackets at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it's a plus plus or plus plus number or number plus plus doesn't matter.
Oh, it wouldn't matter in this case. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah. So the initialization section for loop is optional. However, it's usually provided. Typically, for loop initialize a counter variable that will be tested. And the initialization section can initialize multiple variables. I can use I, J, K, whatever. The variables declared in this section have a scope only for the for loop. The update expression is usually used to increment or decrement counter variable. The update section of the loop execute last in the loop after I arrive to the end of the loop bracket. The update section may be update multiple variable. Each variable update is executed as if we are on a line by itself. What does that mean? Like it's the plus plus here. Before it, we will do it. Either plus plus number or number plus plus. Doesn't matter. You should avoid updating control of a variable for a for loop within the body of the loop. For example, to do the like number plus plus, we should avoid this. Otherwise, why to do for use for, we will use y. Multiple initialization and updates. For I equal 5, integer j equal 0, I less than 10 or j less than 20, I plus plus, j equal j plus 2. And the statement. For that, the only parts of a loop that are mandatory are the semicolon. I can start for semicolon, semicolon statement, and this would lead to infinite loop. If left out, the test section defaults to true. So nothing will stop the for here, unless we use a break. But why to do this? Then we can use while or do while. Running totals and sentinel values. Running totals loops are the program to keep running totals while evaluating data. Imagine need to keep running total of users input. For example, this program calculates a running total. Integer days, double sale, total sale. Then we will, for how many days do you have sales amount? Total sales for integer equal 1 to the number of days count plus plus. Enter sales for day 1. Sales, you will enter the sales, we will add it to the total, and we will continue till we finish. Then the total says are dollars total sales. Any question about this example? For example, as a salesperson, you work 4 days, you have the sales for 4 days. For me, I work 6 days, then I have a sales for 6 days. Alex like work for 3 days, then he has the sale for 3 days. So that's why we keep it to enter how many days do you want to calculate your total sales. Or in a month, you work 15 days, he's working 20 days, the other lady worked like 22 days, then the program will calculate each one by one. Is that clear? Questions? What do you mean by sentinel values? Sometimes the endpoint of input data is not known. We don't know when to stop. So a sentinel value can be used to notify the program to stop acquiring input. If it is a user input, the user could promote to the input data that is not normally in the input data range. Or for example, in the example of do while, we use Y capital or small for yes, and N capital or small for no. Programs that get file input typically use end of file marker to stop acquiring input data. And normally when we do those when we are reading a text file. When we are reading a text file. So for example, points, total points as accumulation, display general instruction, enter the number of points your team has earned for each game this season, enter number 1 when finished. So enter game points or -1 to end here. So while points not equal -1, total points add the points. System enter game points or -1 to end. Then you will enter the points. Then we'll keep adding them till you enter -1, then they will stop. System output, the total points are plus total points. Nested loop. What do we mean nested loop? Same as nested if. It's a for loop after each other. So if I need to do a nested loop, for example, like if statement, nested if, loop can be nested. If a loop nested in the inner loop will execute all of its iteration for each time the outer loop execute. For example, for I equals 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Now I have I equals 0. Then I'll go from J0 to 10. So I will do this loop 10 times till I reach to the I plus plus. Then I equal 2, then I'll go to J equal 0. Then I repeat it 10 times. So how many times this loop will do? It will do 100 times, because at each round of I have to do the J 10 times. Then I'll go to I, the next I, then I'll do it 10 times. Then I'll go to the next I till I reach to the 10 I. So 10 times 10, it is 100 times. Question about nested loop before we see the example? No question. Java decimal format. This program uses nested loop to simulate a clock. So we have decimal format 00 for integer hours equal 1, hours less than or equal to 12, hour plus plus, for minute 0 to 59, for integer second 0 to 59. Though we have 3 nested loop. Format hours, then minutes, then seconds. So it will show you the times that you need. How many this or how many output we will see? 1, 2, 3. We time them together, then we'll have the number. You can try it in your compiler. Questions about nested loop. So which is the most inner loop, which is the second? So it will round from 0 to 59. Then we will add 1 to the minutes. Then it will round from 0 to 59. Then the second minute, same till we reach minute 59 and all the seconds. Then after that, we'll move to next hour, which is 2, and we'll repeat this 12 times. Is that clear? Questions? No questions. Good. Here is the break statement. The break statement can be used to abnormally terminate a loop. So if I enter an infinite loop, or sometimes at certain point for certain condition, we need to stop the loop. How to stop the loop? We'll break the loop using a break statement. The use of the break statement in loop bypasses the normal mechanism and make the code hard to read and maintain. It is considered bad from the use of the break statement in this manner. So as a good programming habit, no need to use a break. But if I have to, then I will use it. Then we have a continue. What the continue? The continue statement will cause the currently executing iteration of loop to terminate and move to the next iteration. So the statement after the continue in the current loop round will not be executed. Then it will back to the loop and do another round. So the continue will cause the evaluation of the condition in while and for loops. Like the break statement, the continue statement should be avoided because it makes the code hard to read or debug or to follow. But if I have to, then I have to use it. In some cases, we have to use it. Okay, deciding which loop to use. Would you like to have a quick break, 5 minutes break, guys, or shall we continue?
Can we take a quick break?
Break?
Yeah.
How many minutes? Do you need 5-10 minutes?
I'm fine with whatever. Ask the rest if how long they need it.
Okay, we'll back at 11:10. Don't leave the meeting. Stay on the meeting. We will back at 11:10. Okay? Zoom recording. So here deciding which loop to use. While, do while, for loop, which one to use? The while loop, pre-test loop, use it where you do not want the statement to execute if the condition is false in the beginning. The do while post-test loop, use it where you want the statement to execute at least one time. For loop, pre-test loop, use it where there is some type of counting variable that can be evaluated. So the while loop, normally we use it when we don't know how many times we will iterate. The for loop, when I know when to start, when to stop, and how much the increment, like some types of counters. I hope this is clear when to use each type of loop. Now we are done with the loop thing. I believe, guys, the midterm material till here. Or you want to put the file section in the midterm? I leave it for voting. So what do you think? 6.5 to be included in the midterm or not? It's a bit tricky thing, so I would prefer not. Okay, so the midterm material next Monday till slide 40 in unit 6. Till slide 40 in unit 6. Okay. So handout 6 till slide 40. Is that clear? So 6.5 is not included in the midterm. Okay. What do you mean by using file for input and output? So what they are saying here, the author of the book, entering data all the time could get tedious for the user. The data can be saved to a file. Files can be used for input or output. Files have to be open. We have to open the file. Data is then written to the file. The file must be closed prior to the program termination. In general, there are two types of file that Java can deal with them: binary file and text files. To open a file for text output, you create an instance of the print writer class. Print writer output file equal new print writer, for example, student data.txt. Pass the name of the file that you wish to open as an argument to the print writer constructor. Warning: if the file already exists, it will be erased and replaced with a new file. So we have to be careful. It's a tricky thing that if I have a previous file saved with the same name, it will be erased. Okay. The print writer class, what it's do? It allows you to write the data to a file using the print and the print line method, as you have been using to display data on the screen. Just as the system.out object, the print line method of the print writer class will place a new line character after the written data. The print method writes data without writing the new line character. So it will work like print line. It will add a new line after you print writer. Open the file. Here's the code. print writer output file equal a new print writer name.txt, output file dot print line Chris, output file dot print line Catherine, output file dot print line Jane, output file dot close. We have to close the file before we done. We open it, we write to it, then we have to close it. Open the file, write data to the file, then close the file. Don't forget these steps. Questions still here?
So will we have to create the text file every time, or is there any instance where the program can create a text file for us?
No, to open file to read, we'll come to it.
Okay.
Open existing file to read, we'll come to it. But here we are talking writing text to a file.
Okay, I see. So it has to
So,
pre-exist.
yeah, so
Okay, thank you.
we identify it as a new object
Okay,
of the
thank
print
you.
writer class.
Mhm.
So the print writer class put the following import statement at the top of the source. Import java.io.input output, that mean dot star. So let's see this example. This is for a scanner to input from the keyboard, and here need file and IO exceptions. So void string file name, string friend name, integer number of friends, create a scanner object for keyboard input, system.output, how many friends do you have? Then you have to enter the number of friends. Then keyboard.next line, which is consume the remaining new line character. Get the file name, system.out.print, enter the file name, you will enter the file name, then print writer, output file, new print writer, and you will add the file name you chose. For integer equal or for integer I equal 1, I less than the number of friends, enter the name of friend number 1, number 2, number 3, then you will add them to the file. Done. You enter all your friends, output file dot close system data read into the file. So here we are writing data to new file. Is that clear? Exceptions. When something unexpected happen in Java program, an exception is thrown. The method that executing when the exception is thrown must either handle the exception or pass it up the line. Handling the exception will be discussed later. We'll have a certain class about exception handling. To pass it up the line, the method needs a throw clause in the method header. We will see. Throws IO exceptions. So just jump over it and continue. To insert the throws clause in a method header, simply add the word throws and the name of the expected exception, which is input output exception. Print writer object can throw an IO exception, so we write the throws clause like this after the main. To avoid erasing a file that already exists, which is your question, create a file writer object, not output file. Okay, so we will add a file writer object like file writer fw new file writer name.txt true. Then create a print writer object in this matter, print writer fw new print writer fw. On Windows computer, path contain backslash character. Remember, if the backslash is used in a string literal, it is escape character, so you must use 2 of them. So here, if it's in text, because we will slash that mean print 1 slash. So a new print writer in C priceless.txt that I'm saving the file in C and drive C. This only necessary if the backslash is in a string literal. If the backslash in a string object, then it will be handled properly. So print writer then will do it like this. If the fortunately Java allow Unix style file name using forward slash to separate directories. You use the file class and the scanner class to read data from a file. Now I'm reading data from a file. File, my file name, new file customer.txt, pass the name of the file as argument in the file class constructor. Scanner, input file, new scanner, my file, pass file object as an argument to the scanner class constructor. Scanner keyboard, the new scanner system.in, system.out, print, enter the file name, string file, you will get it, file equal file, new file name, scanner, input file, new scanner file. The lines above creates an instance of the scanner class to read from the keyboard, promote the user for a file name, get the file name from the user, create an instance of the file class to represent the file, create an instance of the scanner that read from the file. So here it will not, the scanner will not read from your keyboard input, it will read from the file. Once an instance of the scanner is created, data can be read using the same method that you have used to read keyboard input, next line, next integer, next double, etc. Open the file, file equal file, a new file, name.txt, scanner.input, a new scanner, the file. Read a line from the file, string, input file.next line, close the file, input file.close. So how we are reading line by line. Questions? The scanner class can throw an IO exception when a file object is passed to its constructor. So we put throws clause in the header of the method that instances the scanner class. See example. So here we throw the exception. We got the file, then we get the file name, we enter the file name, then we create an instance to open the file. Then we read the first line, system.out, the first line in the file is, then you will print it, then we close it. So here this program will read the first line of the file. The scanner class has next method will return true if another item can be read from the file, which means if we have next line. File new read while input file dot has next. Since we have next line, it will be printed. Once we're done, then it will close the file and we stop. Here how to read all lines or all items in the file. File read demo. So here we are reading the file. Input has next, then input the file, next line, then friend name, input file dot close. So here we read the line by line, display the last name, read, then we will stop. Questions, guys? Here we will check if the file already exists. So the exist function is a part of file class in Java. The function determines whether there is a file exist or not. Here there is. The function returns true if abstract file name exists, else it will return false. So file new file, program.txt, check if the specified file exists. If file exists, system, which is exist, otherwise does not exist. So this statement will check if the file program.txt is available or not. Here we check if it exists. If it is exist, we'll open the file and read it line by line using next line function. And here we'll check if it has next till the end of the file, from the beginning of the file till the end of the file. Questions, guys? No questions. Okay. So see you next Wednesday. Next Monday, you will be with the TA in ASIP in, what is the room? 1041. What is it?
1410, I think, right?
Yeah, 1410. Yes, it is 1410 1410. So you will be with the TA. Try to be 15 minutes before. The exam is a closed book. It is a mixed format, multiple choices, true, false, right program, correct errors in a program. Not all of them, maybe I bring part of them, but this is what is in my mind. I didn't write the exam yet. And find the output. Or the output, it could be part of multiple choice. The exam is simple, nothing new, nothing we don't discuss. Read. As I told you, what is your resources for reading. I will upload both today class and the last Monday class immediately after the class now to the YouTube channel. If you have any question, you can email the TA or email me. Yes, there is writing code. Yes, Munib. I'll ask you to write a program. There's one question to write a program. Yes. But it's not like long question. No. Should be a small piece of code. Just to make me sure that you understand the concept. Any question about the exam, I would be more than happy to answer. If not, Omar and Jay, please wait after your colleagues leave. I need to talk with you about something. If there is no
Prof.
question, you are free to leave. Yes, Ryan, go ahead.
So I'm looking at the bonus question thing on OWL, but is there supposed to be a PDF attached with the questions, or are we just supposed to remember the questions?
No, no PDF attached. Which one? The bonus?
Not the bonus, yeah.
Yeah, I already told you what is the question. Just attach as PDF your answer. That's it.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
So it's one to change if to switch. And the other one, can I use a switch case? Like, can I write as a case, like I greater than 90 or not? Just to answer this question.
Wait, sorry, sir. Could you just repeat it? I'm just writing it down so I don't forget.
Yeah, could you send us like an email with the question? So it'd be better to look at.
Guys, it's simple. Change if to switch case. And can I use this in a switch case? Can I write case between brackets I greater than 90? Yes or no, and why?
Could you repeat the second one then?
In the case,
I'm just writing it
after
down.
the case, Ryan, concentrate with me, please. And like we write a switch mark, for example, case.
Yeah.
Mark greater or equal 90. Do this. Greater or equal 70. Same as in F. Can we use that in the case? Yes or no, and why?
Okay, thank you.
This answer would help you how to change F to switch case. Okay?
Okay.
Is that clear, Nihar and Ryan and everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay. Nihar, is it clear?
Yeah, it is. I have a separate question though. I'm not sure if I should answer.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's related. So you know how in the lab you said to use char at bracket I?
What?
Well, remember the lab you posted yesterday, and basically on the last question you gave a hint and to use the char at method with I inside of it.
Yeah.
Well, does that mean that
This you can ask it to TA.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I know the answer, but this is, since we are talking about the lab, I don't want it to overlap or to overcome her rights. So she would be more than happy to answer you.
Okay.
You are welcome.
All right, thank you. Bye.
About the midterm next week, if you have any question, please ask. If you don't, you are free to leave. Then I can stop recording and talk to Omar and Jay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You are
thank you, sir.
welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Okay, guys, if you don't have a question, you can leave. Munib, do you have a question? Munib? Are you there, Munib? Thank you, super. Thank you. Bye. Munib, unmute your mic and ask, please. Munib, are you there? Oh, yes, you will leave. Okay. Okay, Jay, let's start with Jay. I'll stop recording. We are done, then